A couple of hours ago, we saw a really horrific anti-Semitic attack here, and it's the latest in a series of really abhorrent anti-Semitic attacks.
What we see today is a result of complete ignorance of the government and successive governments of 30 years. This is only the beginning.
Anti-Semitism has become institutionalized in this country.
We're not planning to hide our identity. We will continue proudly for who we are, and we call upon society to do what they're supposed to be doing.
Here in Golders Green, just a few hours ago, 2 Jewish men were stabbed in what's now being treated as a terrorist incident. We're here to get the local reaction.
I just happened to be having brunch up the road at Golders Green Road, where we started to see ambulances, police cars, helicopters, a lot of commotion, and this is the really sad reality of Jewish life in 2026, and it cannot be normalized. And there have been enough warnings already with the Heaton Park massacre, with the arson attacks of synagogues, with this memorial wall, which is a symbol of solidarity of the Iranian people who've suffered under the Islamic Republic for 47 years. They usually use this space to demonstrate their support for the Jewish communities, and this was also attacked earlier this week. So this place has become a real hotbed of terrorism, and something really fundamental has to change.
We've had a few attacks on synagogues, 3 or 4 attacks on the outside of synagogues. We've had a serious attack 2 roads down on the right on 4 Jewish ambulances, a Jewish charity. But this is a completely different setting, a different take. This is a physical attack on human beings. I personally feel safe. I would not live in a country where I did not feel safe. But there are plenty of people, older people, that don't feel safe, and they don't feel there's enough police presence. Obviously there should be, certainly after today. I think since October the 7th, and since we've had 35, 40 demonstrations in centre of London, where there's been 100,000 plus each time, the same people that litter those streets have never, ever, in 30 years, demonstrated against a single conflict of war worldwide, including 10 conflicts, which I could name you, at the very same time, since October the 7th has been going on, 10 conflicts where millions upon millions of people have been murdered in cold blood, and those millions of people are only Muslims being killed by Muslims. But when there's no news, no Jews. No Jews, no news. I'd also like to add that tens of thousands of people that have fled the very countries that where there is war, including Yemen, where Houthis have been killing and killing and killing. We, the United Kingdom, through the generosity of our hearts, have given them refuge. Tens of thousands of those people that fled the Houthi killings came to the streets of London to demonstrate supposedly against Israel. And also, I've never seen a single sign opposing or criticizing Hamas. So I question the genuinity of any of that going on. I think Suella Braverman had the guts to say what she said, and for some odd reason she was punished. She said the marches going on in London are, quote, hate marches. I think she's dead on. She's 100% right. And what we see today is a result of complete ignorance of the government and successive governments of 30 years, where this type of rhetoric going on in the streets is allowed to happen, and today this is only the beginning.
Our initial reaction is always shock, then concern for the victims. We also have a sense of gratitude for all the communal volunteers that helped us, which is the Shomrim, the CST, Hatzola, and the police who responded to it. But then when you start reflecting, one recognizes that like I said, we're shocked, but we're not surprised, because if it's acceptable to express anti-Semitism, anti-religion publicly, if you can have rallies saying globalize the intifada, then this is a natural reaction that individuals will act out. And then you'll see various public officials saying, this is senseless violence. And you should know it's not senseless. It's calculated, it's intentional, it's random violence. But the essence of terrorism is inflicting random violence on a few people to intimidate the masses. And people say it's senseless because they want to release themselves from responsibility. Because if it's senseless, then there's nothing I could do about it. It's not senseless at all, and everyone can realize where it's coming from. And it's society's responsibility, whether the government, whether all the vast, decent majority of society, to make such things unacceptable.
The community was already on high alert. They've been on high alert for a long time. Although this is shocking, it's not been unexpected. And we just see this as an escalation. Each attack seems to take it one step further. The government has said lots of words, but we haven't seen a lot of action. Sadly, anti-Semitism has become institutionalized in this country, and we don't see very much in the way of looking at that, a root and branch investigation as to why it's taken place. It just seems to be acceptable.
Go home! You and your corrupt husband! Bloody disgrace!
We don't need apologies, we want action!
There is no action from this government!
It's very easy to score political points, so to speak, and to flood to a scene of a terrorist attack after the fact. I think the really hard work comes in when you're actually doing things behind the scenes to prevent such atrocities from happening. But this really cannot be normalised in London in 2026, or in any year really. It's truly abhorrent for any minority group, any individual to face this kind of concern, just going about their daily lives, crossing the streets, praying in synagogue, visiting schools. It's really something really has to change.